Welcome to the Business Blast Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. This episode is brought to you by Authors Unite. Authors Unite provides you with the support you need to finish your book. Best part is, after you finish your book, they take care of the entire publishing and marketing process 100% for you. So, if you want to become a successful author, make sure to check out authorsunite.com. Now, let's jump into the episode. All right, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Business Blast Podcast. I'm your host, Tyler Wagner. Today, I have Vanky Kataria. He is a personal brand consultant and speaker featured in Forbes, Entrepreneur, and Huffington Post. He helps people turn into brands. So welcome to the show.
Hello, Tyler. It's an absolute honor to be on your show, man. Really an honor.
Thank you, brother. And it's an honor to have you on. So the first question that we ask on this show, Vanky, is what is the best story from your life that has an underlying valuable message?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'd like to share my story when I was doing my engineering. It was the second of my engineering when I lost my father. Before that, I was complete geek. I loved studies. I was complete into studies. My attendance in college was over 99%, so I was a really complete nerd. But then after I lost my father, I decided that, life is very short, and in a tribute to him and my entire family, I will start to do more apart from studies. So I started with public speaking. And I initially lost some 6 to 7 local level competitions in which you have just 10 to 15 competitors. Even then, I lost all of them. But, I kept on learning things. And in 6 to 8 months, I represented India at the international level in about 6 to 8 months. But the thing was, when I represented India at the first time in this international competition, so this competition was a 10-minute presentation session followed by a 5-minute Q&A session. So after I did my presentation, I was really pumped up and I asked the judges if they had any questions for me as it was a Q&A session. And one judge out of the 3, he was really at me. And he said that, I don't have any questions for you. And, he didn't even ask other judges to ask me a single question in the Q&A session. So he was really angry at my presentation style, the way I had presented. And in front of hundreds of people, I traveled down, by hundreds of kilometers to that place. I'd done so much to get to that point, and there I was standing onto the stage, and the judge of the competition asking me no question and humiliating me in front of everyone. And as he said these things, and he took me as an example and made fun of me and shared things which a presenter shouldn't do in front of the entire audience, and there were people laughing and smiling at me. So that was one of the worst moments, I believe, at that moment of time, and really felt bad. So I came back home, and at that moment of time, I was like, I won't ever participate in a single competition again. And public speaking, I really regret it. But then I got over these things, and I did a lot of hard work for an entire year. I went back into the same competition, again represented India, and this time I did come up as the runner-up in South Asia while I was representing India at the international level. And that competition taught me that, you don't win and lose in life, you win and learn in life. Because after I came back from that devastating competition back last year, I made a list of all the points, all the mistakes I had done, and I made sure that I don't repeat the same mistakes again. And I also made a list of what things I learned from other competitors, and I made sure that I made sure that I did all those things. So I did learn this, that you don't win and lose in life, you win and learn in life.
Yes, I love that. So the next one I got for you is, what is the most valuable piece of information we should know that's within your expertise or industry?
Yeah. So this is one of the most underrated things, one of the most underestimated things, and this is called LinkedIn. I mean, I just can't emphasize enough that LinkedIn is really underestimated, and it's a platform which has brought me plenty of opportunities, right from getting featured in major magazines to getting featured in international books and getting TEDx opportunities. So everything has, most of these opportunities have come through LinkedIn. And in my industry, where the person himself or herself is the brand, And it doesn't matter if you want to have a personal brand or not, you have one already. So LinkedIn is the go-to platform for creating a compelling personal brand. I believe people underestimate LinkedIn a lot. Yeah.
And what is your best piece of overall business advice, so not necessarily industry specific?
Yeah, this, I believe it should be, your network is your net worth. Networking is networking, and I really believe that your network is very crucial, and the way you develop connections and maintain them and maintain and build relationships, that's very important. Networking is your network is very important. I also believe that you're the average of 5 people whom you hang out with. That's one quote which I really love. So I believe the right network you have, the right people you have around you, the right environment, that affects a lot to your business. Because while you're inspired by the people who have the same thought process, and they're really inspired by themselves, they want to work harder, they want to take their business to the next level. So even it's natural that you even get inspired and you want to work more and strive more. So I believe networking is very important, according to me.
I could not agree with you more. And if you could give your younger self one piece of advice, what would that be?
Yeah, so this would be that you should go all in. You should go all in, and you shouldn't wait for the right time, because you shouldn't be waiting for tomorrow, because who knows, you won't be having a tomorrow. And in today's era, we think about retire at 60 and do things what you want to do after 60, but who knows? Like, I won't be even alive after 40. Who knows that? I believe what I would advise myself is that you should go all in, follow your passions, follow what you love, follow what you want. Like, go all in, man. Don't let it go for tomorrow. Go all in today.
And in your opinion, what is the key to happiness?
Yeah, so it would be being content with what you already have, being content with things which your family has provided you, being content with things which God Almighty has provided you, but always be hungry in what you can do. So if I am running my business, I should always be hungry for more, and because I love what I'm doing, I'm always enjoying the process. So I really want to love. I really want to do more. So I believe loving what you do, following your passion, going after your dreams is very important, because even though you may not be earning $1 million, but you'd be going and following your dream, and it would be really, really awesome, because you'd enjoy every moment of it, because then life won't become a destination, it will become a journey to treasure. Yeah.
And what is the best book that you've read, and what was the number one thing you learned from that?
Yeah, so my favorite book is Contagious: How Things Catch On by Jonah Berger. So this book is really, really very cool, and it talks about word of good mouth. How you make use of word of good mouth. And this book basically covers a really cool concept of steps, STEPPS. So what Jonah Berger says is that if you want more word of good mouth, it depends on these 6 things, steps, which is S is for social currency, T is for triggers, E is for emotions, P is for public, another piece of practical value, and S is for story. Just one example would be S is social currency. So what people think of you, how people think, whether it is cool or not, this is what social currency strives of. So if people think you're doing something cool, if the product is cool and it's awesome, and so people would share it, and the word of good mouth spreads.
And what is your favorite quote and why?
Yeah, so my favorite quote is, "You don't judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree." That's my favorite quote, because I see a lot of people trying to judge every student in the same way. I don't believe that should be the case, and you have to judge everyone through a different perspective. Everyone has their own talents, their own likings, their own dislikings. So you should make sure that you know those things, and accordingly you should judge the other person. Yeah.
Yes, man, I love that. Thank you so much for coming on. The last one I have for you before we let you go is, where can our audience best find you online?
The perfect platform would be LinkedIn. I am very active on LinkedIn and love the platform. So LinkedIn will be the best platform to reach out to me. Or on my website, www.vankykataria.com.
Perfect. Thanks again for coming on.
Absolute honor, man. Absolute honor, Tyler.
The podcast you just heard was made using Anchor. Ever thought about making your own podcast? Anchor makes it really easy for anyone to get started. It's a one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing podcasts. Best of all, it's 100% free. Sign up now at anchor.fm/new. That's anchor.fm/new to get started.